Hello everyone. Azure AI isn't experimental anymore. It's already inside real applications: search, chatbots, document processing, recommendations. And that changes the real question from, can we build AI in Azure, to, do we know which Azure AI service to use and why? That's exactly where most Microsoft Azure AI Engineer Associate certification candidates get stuck. The designing and implementing a Microsoft Azure AI solution isn't about writing code from scratch. It's about understanding how Azure AI services actually fit real business scenarios: vision, language, search, and responsible AI. And one of the most efficient ways to build that judgment is practicing real exam-style questions. So, let's get started. Question 1. You are developing the Smart E-commerce project. You need to implement auto-completion as part of the cognitive search solution. Which three actions should you perform? Each correct answer presents part of the solution. Choose two. Note: each correct selection is worth 1 point. A. Make API queries to the autocomplete endpoint and include suggester name in the body. B. Add a suggester that has the three product name fields as source fields. C. Make API queries to the search endpoint and include the product name fields in the search fields query parameter. D. Add a suggester for each of the three product name fields. Answer: A. Make API queries to the autocomplete endpoint and include suggester name in the body. And B. Add a suggester that has the three product name fields as source fields. Explanation: scenario: support auto-completion and auto-suggestion based on all product name variants. A. Call a suggester-enabled query in the form of a suggestion request or autocomplete request using an API. API usage is illustrated in the following call to the autocomplete REST API. Post, indexes, Mixbox games, docs, autocomplete, search and API version 2020. 0630, search, Minecraft, suggester name, SG. B. In Azure, cognitive search, type ahead or search as you type, is enabled through a suggester. The suggester provides a list of fields that undergo additional tokenization, generating prefix sequences to support matches on partial terms. For example, a suggester that includes a city field with a value for Seattle will have prefix combinations of C, Seat, Seat, and Seattle to support type ahead. Question number 2. You are developing an app that will use the speech and language APIs. You need to provision resources for the app. The solution must ensure that each service is accessed by using a single endpoint and credential. Which type of resource should you create? A. Azure AI Language. B. Azure AI Foundry Service. C. Azure AI Speech. D. Azure AI Foundry Content Safety. Answer: B. Azure AI Foundry Service. Explanation: you want the app to access both speech and language APIs using a single endpoint and credential. Normally, Azure AI services like Azure AI Language or Azure AI Speech have separate endpoints. The Azure AI Foundry service unifies multiple AI capabilities under one resource, letting your app call different APIs, speech, language, etc., with a single endpoint and key. That's why option B is correct. Question number 3. You are processing text by using the Azure AI Language service. You need to identify music band names in the text. The solution must minimize development effort. What should you use? A. Key phrase extraction. B. Conversational language understanding, CLU. C. Entity linking. D. Custom-named entity recognition, NER. Answer: C. Entity linking. Explanation: entity linking automatically detects and links entities in text, like music bands, to a known knowledge base. It requires minimal setup compared to custom NER, which needs training. Key phrase extraction just finds important words, not entity types, and CLU is for understanding user intents, not identifying specific entities. So, C. Entity linking is the easiest way to identify music band names with minimal development effort. Question number 4. You have a 20 GB video file named file1.avi that is stored on a local drive. You need to index file1.avi by using the Azure AI Video Indexer website. What should you do first? A. Upload file1.avi to the Azure AI Video Indexer website. B. Upload file1.avi to the www.youtube.com webpage. C. Upload file1.avi to Microsoft OneDrive. D. Upload file1.avi to an Azure storage queue. Answer. A. Upload file1.avi to the Azure AI Video Indexer website. Explanation. Azure AI Video Indexer processes videos directly through its website or via Azure Storage. Since you already have the video locally, the simplest first step is to upload file1.avi directly to the Azure AI Video Indexer website. This allows the service to analyze and index the video's audio, speech, and visual content. Other options like YouTube, OneDrive, or a storage queue are unnecessary at this stage. Question number 5. You are building a social media messaging app. You need to identify in real time the language used in messages. A. Azure AI Foundry, Content Safety. B. Azure AI Speech. C. Azure AI Language. D. Azure AI Translator. Answer. D. Azure AI Translator. Explanation. To detect the language of messages in real time, you need a service that can automatically identify the language of text. Azure AI Translator is designed for this. It can detect languages and also translate if needed. The other options don't provide language detection for text in real time. Azure AI Foundry, Content Safety, checks for unsafe or harmful content. Azure AI Speech handles speech-to-text or voice recognition. Azure AI Language, mainly for text analysis like sentiment or entity recognition, not language detection. So, Azure AI Translator is the right choice. If these questions made you pause, that's a good sign, because this is exactly how the Microsoft Azure AI Engineer Associate exam tests your thinking. Passing isn't about memorizing services. It's about building the mental model to choose the right Azure AI solution under pressure. And if you want to prepare the right way, with updated practice questions that cover all the core concepts, you'll find that practice on CertBoosters. Keep practicing. Clarity comes faster than you think. Subscribe to the channel for more practice sessions. Good luck.